You're listening to an Airwave Media Podcast.
All set for your flight?
Yep, I've got everything I need. Eye mask, neck pillow, T-Mobile, headphones.
Wait, T-Mobile?
You bet. Free in-flight Wi-Fi. 15% off all Hilton brands. I never go anywhere without T-Mobile. Same goes from a water bottle, chewing gum, nail clippers,
okay,
passport.
I'm gonna leave you to it.
Find out how you can experience travel better at T-Mobile.com/travel.
Qualifying plan required. Wi-Fi were available on select U.S. airlines. Deposit and Hilton Honors membership required for 15% discount. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome to From Beneath the Hollywood Sign. If you love old movies, Hollywood history, or the golden age of filmmaking, you've come to the right place. This is the podcast that talks about amazing stories of Tinseltown from another era and fascinating conversations with writer-producer Steve Cubine and actress-writer Nan McNamara.
So, Steve, did Ava Gardner and Howard Hughes have a good relationship?
Well, they did until he dislocated her jaw.
What?
Well, don't worry. She hit him back with an ashtray.
From Beneath the Hollywood Sign is the gin joint for you.
Recorded in Chicago, Illinois, with your hosts, Ken, Matt, Neal, and Jeff. This is Triviality. The cream of the crop!
Hello, welcome to Triviality, the game where a lack of seriousness meets just a little teeny tiny bit of knowledge. Just a skosh of knowledge. My name is Ken. I'll be your host today. And across from me is Jeff and Neal. How you guys doing?
I'm doing great. New Jonas Brothers album dropped, so I'm hyped.
10 years in the making.
He was listening to it in the car. He was trying to put on punk rock to cover it up, but every time the song ended, it went back to the Jonas Brothers cue.
Yep, it was on the cue of the album, so I was listening to that album, getting hyped.
You can't hide from me, Neal.
I know I can. You're right.
But we're very excited today. We have a plethora of guests, the first of which is in the studio with us, all the way in from Denver, Colorado. He's an Intercontinental Champion, so we surely appreciate that. It is Willow Campbell.
How's it going, everybody?
Good. Thank you for joining us here in the studio.
Yeah, happy to be here. It's quite exciting for me.
And you came just for this, I understand. No other purpose in Chicago.
Yes, I came for 5 days for 1 day of trivia.
Yeah, that's right.
So I'm quite stoked.
And tell us a little bit about your life out there in Denver.
Well, it's pretty fun. I'm getting ready to hopefully release a card game here in the next couple of months.
Nice.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, please let us know about that, and we'll do some sort of collaboration.
Absolutely.
All right, cool. And next, coming to us over Skype, is our United States Patreon supporter, all the way from Joplin, Missouri, Tristen Turner. How you doing?
I am wonderful. How are you guys doing?
Good. Yeah, thanks for joining us. I know you've been listening for a while, and of course you support us on Patreon, so we appreciate that, and it's a pleasure to finally meet you.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to meet you as well. I have been binge listening to you guys on my way to work for probably a month now.
Have you learned anything?
Absolutely. Yeah. No. It's
okay.
And that's all you can ask for, right?
Yeah, that's right. And what do you do out there in Joplin?
I am actually a table games dealer for a casino near Joplin. I actually work over in Oklahoma because I'm so close to the border.
Very cool. We've had a surprising amount of casino dealers on this show.
Two,
I think, which is more than I've ever thought.
I was thinking the same thing.
I should get into that racket. Anyways.
We must really be inspiring to the casino crowd.
Yeah. Lastly, our who's going to be the host today is Joe Nguyen. He's a Cruiserweight Champion coming to us from New York City. How you doing, Joe? Good to talk to you again.
I'm all right. Great to see you guys, too. How you been?
Yeah, good. And we all know Joe by this point. I think he's been on the show 2 or 3 times, and he was also our teammate at Geek Bowl. So good to see you again, Joe. Vegas and Boston. 2-time Geek Bowl runner-up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like Charlie Brown, he is a good man.
Thank you very much. Much appreciated.
All right. So before we toss it over to the rules guy, let's get our teams assembled here. I think Neal was going to be teaming up with Willow here in the studio. Is that right?
Yeah, Willow said that he knows a little bit about science, which I know nothing about. And Willow was on the show before, and I'll let him say the team name because he wants to sort of have a little bit of revenge, I guess, right?
Yeah, so last time Jeff and Neal were mild high So this is the Mild High Comeback.
Mild
High Comeback. And Tristen and Jeff are going to be teaming up. So how about you guys?
Yeah, I think in honor of where Tristen lives.
Joplin, Missouri.
Joplin, Missouri. Yeah, we're going to be It's Ragtime.
In honor of Scott Joplin, who Joplin, Missouri is probably not named after.
Probably not.
That's absolutely right.
All right. Sounds good. It's Ragtime versus Mild High Comeback. And now let's hear from the rules guy.
The rules of the game are simple. 20 questions split into 2 rounds worth 10 points apiece. At halftime, there'll be a special swing round designed by this week's host. After regulation, players will enter the final round with the points that they've accumulated and will have a chance to wager 0 to 30 points on 5 categorized questions. At the end of the game, someone will be named the cream of the crop.
The cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
Nice ragtime version of that. Sort of like the hello, my baby.
I like the piano in the background. It's nice.
Yeah, the little entertainer in the background.
If you didn't hear it, make sure to turn it way up.
Yeah, that's right. And with all that clerical business out of the way, let's toss it over to Joe and get this game started.
All right. Question number 1. The Battle of Gallipoli was a major military campaign during World War I in what is now what modern-day country?
I'm just thinking back to the Mel Gibson movie that we watched.
No Neal.
I know. Trying to remember where they invaded and were slaughtered. I wonder if that would have been a country at that point. That's fine. You guys want to go with that?
Sure, we can.
Okay, that does sound familiar. So, cool. So we can lock in with that and let them talk.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, Tristen. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I don't know that I'll have anything meaningful to contribute this time.
All I can get is Tripoli in my head, and that's in North Africa somewhere. All right. You mind if I just go Algeria then? Because that sounds like I think that's where Tripoli is. Okay, we're gonna go with Algeria.
Will and I had some extended conversation, and I'll let Willow take it.
Yeah. So I just with the way that it was spelled, I figured it was going to be more in the like southern side of Europe, and then we also wrote down a couple African countries, and but I think we ended up just going with Italy.
All right, guys. Well, the name is a bit misleading because the name is an Italian form of the Greek name meaning beautiful city. The Gallipoli Peninsula, however, is part of Turkey. Major military campaign 1915-1960. Turkey.
Which would have been the Ottoman Empire at the time.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Exactly.
Hence the reason he asked for the current country.
That's right.
That's correct. Yep.
All right, let's move on to question 2.
Question number 2. First produced by Ludens in 1936, what fashionable-sounding candy bar, now owned by Hershey, consists of peanut butter crunch layers and chocolate, similar to Nestle's Butterfinger?
The fashionable clue is throwing me off. I'm trying to think of candy bars that are like Butterfinger.
I'm a sweets guy, so this is really getting at me.
You eat a lot of candy?
I eat a lot of candy.
Well, I don't, so that's hurting me here.
But I can't come up with anything better.
Okay.
I think
you just want to lock in with one of them. We'll decide.
Yeah, let's go with the Heath bar. Let's do that.
Okay.
All right, Tristen. What are you thinking?
Well, I was also kind of attaching to the fashionable clue as well. The only thing I could think of, and I'm not a big candy eater either, so I don't. This might sound silly, but I said like $100,000.
If you had that, you could afford 2 Tom Ford suits.
Exactly.
And nothing more.
Not tailored though, just off the rack.
Right, off the rack. Do they have a rack?
No. I don't know if they do. That's probably not. Yeah.
Okay. I don't think $100,000 has peanut butter in it. I'm trying to remember what's in a Charleston chew. Charleston sounds old. And it was a fashionable dance at one point, so I don't know if that's too far outside of the meaning there. Do you know what's in a Charleston chew?
I think it has some sort of like nougat in it, I believe.
Gotta have a good nougat.
I love that word and candy. It's got a good nougat.
Yeah, I'm
cool with that if that's what you want to. If you want
Charleston
to go
chew, sure. Let's go Charleston chew.
Willow and I talked about it for a little bit. We wrote down $100,000, O. Henry, Babe Ruth, and Willow kind of clued in. We weren't sure, but he clued in on Heath bar, so that's what we went with.
Back in 1936, the name was an attempt to associate the elegant candy with a fashionable street here in New York City. It is the Fifth Avenue bar. Fifth Avenue.
I've been to a bar on Fifth Avenue. I've never eaten the Fifth Avenue bar.
We'll run down to the convenience store down the street and grab a few of those.
Okay.
For intermission.
Known among Latin communities as a tool for disciplining children, a chancla, that's chancla. A chancla is a type of what object?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I guess I'm trying to think of something you would discipline children with other than a squirt bottle. No, that's a cat. I'm sorry.
More of a dog, cat or dog thing, yeah.
I mean, I don't do that to children.
Anymore.
I've seen it be effective.
Yeah. And no one likes to be squirted with water. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, we can go with that if you want. Okay.
Yeah,
all right,
I'm
cool.
comfortable with that.
We're locked in over here.
Yeah, I was thinking this was some form of like stick or paddle. Tristen, I don't know what your thoughts are.
I'm actually fairly certain that chancla is like a shoe or a slipper of some sort.
That sounds right. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go with shoe.
Okay.
That does seem right. Yes, I can totally see that, but Willow, you can take it.
Yeah, I think we were on the same line as Jeff. We just said paddle.
All right. I think one of you is getting credit for this one. A chancla is a flip-flop or a slipper or some type of footwear. So, yeah, points for that.
Thanks, Tristen.
Not a problem.
Points on the board.
So do all the drunk kids in college when it's like 2 a.m. and they're throwing flip-flops at each other, they're really just throwing chanclas. That's what we're saying.
That's pretty much it.
Depends.
Straight out of
Fun
chancla.
fact, in 2018 and 2019, just to show you how integral the chancla is among many Latin communities growing up, minor league baseball team, the San Antonio Missions, briefly changed their name to the Flying Chanclas and had a picture of the flying slipper.
Excellent.
Yeah, because that's how intimidating they are for many people.
Oh wait,
How appropriate.
there was a YouTube video of the lady throwing her shoe all the way down the street to hit her daughter that was driving.
Oh yes, I do remember that video.
It was like half a football field away. She nails it right in that. She goes down.
That was a great video.
Yeah, chanclas are very prevalent in the meme community because I mean you can just really home in on people with a slipper. It's fantastic.
All right.
Shoes are the universal language.
There you go.
Many things.
There you go.
All right, number 4. With a net worth of roughly $70 billion, Spanish businessman Amancio Ortega co-founded what flagship fast fashion retailer in 1975?
I just wrote down some that I thought are kind of fast, and if he's rich, then it's got to be a company that makes a lot of money, I would think. You want to go with that?
Yeah. I think the other ones might be too new.
Too new? Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of cool with going with that.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. We're going to lock in.
I was thinking for some reason, and I can't remember where it comes from, but H&M is one of the biggest fast fashion companies. I don't know if you know Amancio Ortega at all, Tristen.
I do not, and I was trying to think of something that was relatively new, within the last 50 years or so, and that's better than anything I've got, so I am totally cool with H&M.
Yeah, I can't remember where they're from, but I know the person who owns H&M is on the Forbes lists. I don't know if it's Amancio Ortega or not, but we'll go H&M.
Sounds
good.
Will
and I had a nice little discussion. Ken and I both shop at H&M and Forever 21. That was on our list. And then the trifecta of Gap, Old Navy, and Banana Republic. I think they're all under the same umbrella. But we kind of clued in on Banana Republic. We thought it's been around for a while. It's pretty high class. So that's what we went with, Banana Republic.
All right, guys. Well, H&M was on the right track. H&M stands for Hens and Moritz. It's a Swedish company. However, the Spanish fast fashion retailer, I'm sure a lot of the female listeners probably know already, it's Zara, Z-A-R-A, Zara.
I should have known that's
fast fashion. Yep.
Yeah, I had a hunch on that one myself.
That's where you get your underwear, or at least you said you got it there once.
No, not underwear.
Oh, I thought you did.
No, I get outerwear at Zara.
Oh, I see.
Sometimes.
I got a button-up shirt there once. I felt
they got some nice suit coats and stuff like that, but a lot of this stuff is way too wacky for me too, though.
They do have some wacky stuff.
Yep. A little flavor text for you. In January 2018, Forbes called Amancio Ortega the 6th wealthiest person in the world. It's number 6 on the list. Number 5, a TV question for you. The fictional media conglomerate Waystar Royco is at the center of what TV series starring Brian Cox and his children, played by Kieran Culkin, Sarah Snook, Alan Ruck, and Jeremy Strong.
Finally, one I know. I can lock in for us if you want. Cool. We're good.
I know the show, but I can't remember the name. It's that HBO one that's all about how he's going to step down and then he decides not to, and his kids are mad because they're trying to take over it, like Succession or something. But I can't remember the name of it.
I do know what show you're talking about.
It has something to do with like family legacy. I thought it was Succession or something. I've seen ads for it, but I haven't watched it. So
we can go with Succession. I don't know that it very well could be right, but I don't know that I'm gonna come up with anything else.
Okay, well that's what we'll lock in with then. Succession.
You pissed me off, man. Falling your way back into that one. Yeah, it's Succession.
You guys are both right. It is Succession. Well done.
Nice.
All right. Well, after 5 questions, looks like the Mild High Comeback is a little bit behind with 10 points. Tristen and Jeff at It's Ragtime, 20 points.
Okay.
Sorry, due to the mild high, we're a bit slow.
Yeah, we got to get acclimated to the altitude, right?
Yep.
Number 6. Commemorating the July Revolution of 1830, French artist Eugène Delacroix created a painting of a woman lifting the French flag among a crowd entitled What? Leading the People.
I mean, that word's pretty good. I was trying to think of a word for, you know how like you have the Union Jack if there's a name for the French flag, but I honestly can't think of one right now off the top of my head, so I'm fine with going with that.
Sure.
Whichever one you're good with.
Yeah.
I can't remember if the French one is similar to the Italian one, but the Italian one is the tricolore, which is like the tricolor.
Makes sense.
But do you know this one, Tristen?
Not immediately off the top of my head. I was just kind of mulling around a couple words. I don't know if it was like translated from French and like now has an English title or something like that, but I was
I presume this is the English title. Yeah,
I was thinking like maybe like freedom or liberty or something is just the kind of generic answers I came up with.
Thinking something like that too. I was also thinking maybe like people. It sounds a little bit redundant, but if the revolution was towards more of like a democratic society, I could see that.
I actually really kind of do like the redundancy of that. I'm cool with people.
Okay.
People leading the people.
Yeah, let's go people.
Yeah, Willow and I had 24,601 problems, and this answer was 1. That was a really deep Les Mis reference, sorry. But Willow threw out some words down and let you take it.
I was just taking the base context here, and I said, it might be like woman leading the people, but I thought that even then that might have been slightly too progressive for the time, so I just said resistance.
All right, guys. I heard the word spoken at one point. The French title is La Liberté guidant le peuple. It says liberty leading the people.
Oh.
Dang.
It's a depiction of Lady Liberty leading the people. Ready for number 7?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. All right. We're recording the song Boy with Love featuring Halsey. What group released the 2019 EP Map of the Soul Persona, becoming the first group since the Beatles to have 3 #1 U.S. Billboard albums in less than a year?
I think my love of pop music is fitting in here nicely. I think we'll lock in if you're okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I'm a little out of my depths on this one, Tristen. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know that I'm gonna even pull any groups. I know this isn't gonna be right. The only thing I can think of is like Lucas Graham, even though I know their hits weren't probably like 2 years ago. I'm not too sure. That's all I got.
Yeah, let's go with Lucas Graham.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what answer Joe's going to accept. It could either be like the Bangtan Boys, Bulletproof Boy Scouts, Bowden, Shonen Dan, Bangtan, Sonny and Don, but I believe for most people it's BTS.
Yep, all those answers are acceptable as BTS. Little flavor
They're
text
all
for you.
unacceptable and unnecessary.
You're really earning that recent review, Neal.
Yep. Some info for you. Researchers estimated that BTS's annual production inducement effects, which means the economic value related to the related industry for South Korea, it totals about $3.6 billion annually. which is equivalent to 26 mid-sized South Korean companies. So they are huge for South Korea.
That is absurd.
Yeah.
Are they the biggest band in the world right now?
They very well could be. They very well could be. It's a K-pop group, the BTS. They are huge.
I assumed it was them because there's no way any American act put out 3 albums this year.
They're breaking a ton of barriers. I mean, I think they're the first K-pop act on Billboard Awards, like an American televised event, or they were on SNL too. So they're really.
Here's a fun fact for you. JBTV, which I work for, had their first American television appearance.
BTS?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Okay, here's a sports question for you guys. Under the current NFL rules, what is the largest number of points a team can win by in a game that goes to overtime?
I don't think it's fair to ask an NFL rules question, seeing as the officials don't even know what the NFL rules are, right? Most of the time.
That's true. Well, at least they can't see what's going on. I think, Willow, it was we're on the same wavelength there. I was thinking of the way the question's worded, and I think you're right.
Okay.
Let's go with that.
Okay.
I have an idea. I'm assuming under current NFL rules, like, it's not a sudden death thing. I'm pretty sure it's not a sudden death thing.
I think the way it works is the first team to possess the ball can win if they get a touchdown. Now, they won't get the extra point, so they'll only get 6. If the first team who possesses it gets a 3-point, the other team gets a chance to respond. So even if they came back and got a touchdown, they would only be up by 6. So I don't know if was 6 sound right to you, or
if it were like a sudden death thing. I was thinking that it was kind of like you had a chance to score the touchdown. You could either kick the field goal or go for the conversion, and then there was another possession by the other team, in which case you could get a safety on top of that, which would bring the total, I believe, to 11. So I'm either thinking 6 or 11.
Okay.
As far as the most points go.
Did they change the rules on that from last season?
I am the worst guy to ask. I gotta tell you.
Because for whatever reason, I was thinking like both teams would have a chance to possess, but only if the first team got a field goal. But I was thinking a touchdown closed it out, if I remember right.
You very well could be right.
Okay.
It might be kind of like a trick in that facet. It very well could be 6.
Okay. Are you okay if we go with 6?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, well, we'll go with 6.
Yeah, so we were on the thinking the same thing. I'm not a big sports guy at all, so I just kind of went with the first number that popped into my head. I didn't think that you'd be able to score the extra point, and I knew that 6 points is kind of the standard number of points you get for whatever it is you make in football. So we went with 6.
All right, guys. I admit this one is very tricky. Both of you understood that under the current NFL rules, it's no longer sudden death. So this is how the situation would turn out. The team that receives the ball first would kick a field goal for 3 points. On the next possession, when they kick off, the team that has the lead would play on defense. They would have to return a touchdown for 6 points. There's no extra point kicked. So the final score would be a margin of 9 points. The most you can win by is 9 points in overtime. It's very tricky. I think we had this at a sports trivia night. It was really tough. But I thought it was just a kooky thing. I don't believe it's ever happened, but that is the most the team can win by if a game goes to overtime. All right, guys, ready for number 9?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What founding father of colonial America represented the British soldiers involved in the Boston Massacre of 1770 as an attorney?
I think we have a line on something. This is definitely a Ken question. I would have turned to him.
I think I know it.
But I have an idea. You're okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
I know the family, so I'm just guessing. But okay, we're locked in.
Like personally? Tristen, my initial reaction goes to John Adams because he was an attorney. Does that sound right to you?
Yeah, I think so as well. But I think like a lot of the founding fathers were attorneys, weren't they? But yeah, so I was just like initially just writing them down. I realized I was just writing all of them. So John Adams is totally cool with me.
Yeah, George Washington was more of like an industrialist. than an attorney.
Not George Washington.
Jefferson
I think he
was
was also in the military, wasn't he?
Yeah, well later. Yeah. But I mean before the war came on. Yeah,
I'm just ribbing you.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Jefferson wasn't.
Jefferson was.
Now, did he move on up to military at some point, or?
No, he liked to spend his time hanging out in France. Although he was from Virginia, so I don't know if he would have been up there at that time. So just another consideration. John Adams is the one that I kind of had a gut reaction to. So if you like that, I think we're good to go with John Adams.
I like it.
For listeners of the podcast, this is my thinking, and Willow agreed. Anthony Hopkins was John Quincy Adams, who was on, I believe, the Supreme Court, and his father was John Adams, who I thought of as Paul Giamatti, and I knew he was a lawyer as well, so that's what we went with, was John Adams.
All right, points all around, guys. It is John Adams.
I have a question, Neil.
Paul Giamatti.
I think a large portion of that miniseries with Paul Giamatti actually focused on that too. I didn't see it, but I think my dad was watching it, and I happened across it.
Yeah, I remember the trailer. That's why I thought of him, and then the trailer of like people being angry about it. And I was like, oh, maybe that's what it is. So,
Neil, are things not real to you unless they've happened in film or television?
That's correct.
I don't know. I took a red pill, and that's what it said. So,
John Adams said he believed that it was vital that the British soldiers and their captain receive fair trials. He believed that the cause for self-government would be damaged if Boston Justice turned out to be little more than lynch law. So that's why he reluctantly but accepted the position to represent the British soldiers. Number 10.
Let's do it.
All right. Native to South America. What close relative to the guinea pig with an 8-letter name from the Tupi language meaning grass eater is the largest living rodent on Earth?
I've got this. We can lock in.
Perfect. So do I.
So it's not the thing from Princess Bride, is it?
Oh, that's a good reference. I'm not sure.
Rodents of unusual size.
The Rouse. It sucks because if it was like any other animal, not any other animal, I do really well with like snakes and insects and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And like I know I can picture it, but I can't put a name to it. Again,
I couldn't pull an 8-letter name unless do you have one? You think?
No. Do you just want to do this as a joke answer?
Yeah, sure. That sounds good. All right. Our team is locked in.
All right, Tristen, what did you think this was?
I have the capybara, which is Capybara, or 8 letters.
Joe, can you do me a favor? What did you say they're named after?
It's a name from the Tupi language meaning grass eater.
Okay. If I also thought it was a capybara, and the reason I think this is so funny is because they're actually more famously known for being coprophages, which means their digestive system is bad, and they end up re-eating their own waste. But I think this is the capybara.
That's a gross little fact that you threw in there.
Is that why you always spend extra time in the bathroom, to be more efficient with your energy? I'll let Willow take it.
Humans don't need to do that, Neil.
Well, no one told me.
I'm really, really upset that I didn't pull that because, we just went with Master Splinter.
He is a large rodent.
That's a big rat.
All right. Well, the answer is, and correctly spelled as well, is the capybara. Well done.
All right. That brings an end to round 1. Looks like Neal and Willow, as mild high comeback, are still looking for their comeback because they have 30 points. Meanwhile, on the other side of It's Ragtime, they have 40 points. So not a bad showing in round 1.
We're still in it.
Here comes the swing round. Let you know something about myself. One of my favorite parts of watching movies is when a character in the movie says the name of the movie in the movie. Is there what's called title drops, where a character says the name in the movie in the movie. So this swing round is all about notable title drops in my mind. I'm going to give you a year. I may give you the character's name. I may not. I may give you the number of words. I may not. But I'll give you a quote, and I'm going to exclude the name of the movie, and you have to figure out what the name of the movie is. Ready to go?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I do love this. It's an inside joke with many of our friends because we cheer when they say the name. And it reminds me, if anyone watches Barry, which is a great show, he has an audition for a movie called Swim Instructors, and Henry Winkler, who is his acting coach, is beside himself because he goes, I can't believe this. You say the title of the movie, which means they can't cut you. So, yes, we're ready.
All right. Here comes number 1. The year was 2006. The character's name is John Cutter. That's why every magic trick has a third act. The hardest part. The part we call... And then finish the quote. Number 2. The year is 1998. President. I address you tonight not as the President of the United States, not as the leader of a country, but as a citizen of humanity. We are faced with the very gravest of challenges. The Bible calls this day blank. Question number 3. The year is 1974. Character's name is Walsh. Forget it, Jake. It's blank. Number 4. It's a little bit of dialogue here. 1998. Sue Young's driver. Is there a problem, officer? Sang. No problem, just... And then finish the quote. 2006. The character's name is Paula. Look, many young men who should be able to move out simply can't. It's called blank, blank, blank. And that's where I come in. Young men develop self-esteem best during a romantic relationship, so I simulate one. Number 6. The year's 1995. I'm going to not say the character's name because I think it'll give it away, but I'll give you the quote. Everything I think and everything I do is wrong. I was wrong about Elton. I was wrong about Christian. And now Josh hates me. It all boiled down to one inevitable conclusion. I was just totally blank. It's one word. Number 7. The year's 2007. Dialogue here. Pam, are you sure it's safe? Stuntman Mike, it's better than safe. It's... Finish the quote. Number 8. The character is Will Hayes. Speaking to April. Will Hayes. Because the first time I saw that I saw these hands, I couldn't imagine not being able to hold them. But mainly, when you love someone as much as I love you, getting married is the only thing left to do. So, will you marry me? April. Blank. Blank. 2 words. Number 9. The year is 2010. The narrator is speaking. Let's be honest, we all want to be superstars and hotshots, but guess what? That the people that do the real work, the ones that make the difference, you don't see them on TV or on the front page. I'm talking about the day in, day outers, the grinders. Come on, man. You know who I'm talking about. Finish the quotes. And I will give you a hint. The narrator is voiced by Ice-T. And number 10, the year is 1999. Electra King. I could have given you the world. James Bond. Finish the quote.
Mm-hmm. All right, so while everybody mulls over that answer, Jeff, can you tell us really quickly how our listeners can join our 3 guests today on Patreon?
It's very easy. All you have to do is go to patreon.com/trivialitypodcast. Although if you need a reason, there's many. All you have to do is just check out our perks there. We've got a lot of great things, including bonus episodes, signed posters that we ship out. So basically, if you're interested in supporting us at any level, there's really great perks for you there. So again,
physical treasures, really.
Indeed. Things you can cherish for a lifetime.
And we just shipped out Tristen's poster. Willow got his poster today. His box will be shipped out soon. Hand delivered.
I mean, you got to make it here. We don't come to you, but those perks and many more, patreon.com/trivialitypodcast.
All right, and let's go ahead and recap the swing round and get the answers.
All right, guys, for question number 1, the quote was from 2006 by a character named John Cutter. That's why every magic trick has a third act. The hardest part, the part we call...
So it's pretty sure this one starts with the pledge, and then you have the turn, and it ends with the prestige. So we said the prestige.
You like magic there. You like the prestige. We went with the prestige with the Christian Bale and the Hugh Jackman.
And the Michael Caine.
And the David Bowie.
It is the prestige. Well done, guys. And well done on the impressions as well. Much appreciated. Number 2, 1998, President. I address you tonight not as the President of the United States, not as the leader of the country, but as a citizen of humanity. We are faced with the gravest of challenges. The Bible calls this day.
I thought it was Independence Day because I remember him giving that long speech.
The biblical Independence Day.
Well,
yeah, exactly.
So, and then I thought, given biblical connotations, we thought maybe it was Judgment Day for Terminator. So we went Judgment Day.
Ooh, about 6 years too late on that one.
We both thought that it was Independence Day for a second, and then I think we settled on Armageddon.
Ooh.
The Bible calls this day Armageddon. All right, number 3, one more most famous title drops of all time, 1974. Walsh says, "Forget it, Jake. It's
Chinatown." So we went Chinatown.
We also went Chinatown.
It is Chinatown. Nice job. Number 4, 1998. Soo Young's driver. Is there a problem, officer? Sang. No problem. Just.
This one is Rush Hour.
So we said Rush Hour.
Yeah, this one was interesting. I was having a little bit of trouble with it, and I was looking at the year and the name Soo Young, and I was just thinking about, all the movies Joe chose are pretty big movies, and I was trying to think what would be a sort of a major Asian character in 1998, and I was like, oh, Rush Hour, and with the driving, and it kind of all came together, so we went with Rush Hour.
Yep, it is Rush Hour. The Sang is the villain. Soo Young is the daughter of the Chinese consul who gets kidnapped. Why? And everything that happens is during Rush Hour. All right, number 5, 2006. Paula says, "Look, many young men who should be able to move out simply can't. It's called blank, blank, blank."
Yeah, this one we didn't know, and we were really like raking ourselves over the coals. But Willow has an answer we thought fit pretty nicely.
The diving bell and the butterfly?
Come on, man.
Is that old lady trying to seduce you again, Neal?
No, I should return to that well if she's still alive. I don't know.
What's wrong with you?
And I think Tristen bailed me out on
Man's
this one.
paralyzed in that movie.
Doesn't mean he can't find love.
Yeah. So I'm very thankful to Tristen. Tristen, what do we say for this one?
Yeah, this one is one of my personal favorite rom-coms. I remember watching it with my grandmother when I was probably around 18 or 19, and I made the comment, "I really love this movie," and she's like, "Why? It was essentially written about you, and that is failure to launch."
Oh. Is that with McConaughey, right? And Terry Bradshaw?
Jessica Parker.
So Jessica Parker as the character Paula and failure to launch.
You were
Nice
only
job.
18. Your grandma's already calling you out on living at home? Jesus.
It was, well, I mean, it's a moot point now, but at the time, she hit the nail on the head. I can't blame her.
Number 6, 1995. I withheld the name of the character because I thought it was a giveaway. Everything I think and everything I do is wrong. I was wrong about Elton. I was wrong about Christian. And now Josh hates me. It all boiled down to one inevitable conclusion. I was just totally...
Oh my God, I just figured it out. Yeah, we're going to go with Clueless.
Oh, I hate you so much. But we got one on the end, so I'm going to let you have it. Tristen, what was our answer for this one?
I just wrote down the word alone. I was totally alone. I had nothing else.
There's been a lot of buzzer beaters in this swing round.
Yep, at the very last second, spoken by Cher, played by Alicia Silverstone. It is Clueless.
Sorry, when he said it that last time, it clicked finally.
2007, Pam, are you sure it's safe? Stuntman Mike, it's better than safe. It's...
Chinatown.
I would say that's better than safe.
We went with Death Proof.
I was racking my brain for a little while on this one. I was like, it sounds really familiar. And I was like, Stuntman Mike. Why would the character's name be Stuntman Mike? And I was like...
Because it's written by a total weirdo.
And I was like, it's got to be a movie written by a total weirdo. And then I remember Ken and I went to see a midnight showing of a 2007 film when we were the only two people there for about the first hour and a half. And it was Grindhouse. So I'm pretty sure this one's Death Proof.
Yep. It's one of my favorite ones on this list. It is Death Proof, the Tarantino joint, Death Proof. Nice job.
Which you would have caught if you showed up an hour and a half into the film.
Right.
So
there's no way to tell that he likes feet in that movie. That's for sure.
No foot shots whatsoever.
Right. Number 8, 2008. I think this one might have been the toughest one. Will Hayes proposes, will you marry me? And April responds...
it was not tough at all. It was totally easy. It was, will you marry me? And then she says, Edward Scissorhands.
This one was a really deep pull for me. Colleen and I watch this one all the time. It's one of my favorite Ryan Reynolds performances, and it's on Netflix right now, as I mentioned in the discussion, but I'm pretty sure it is definitely Maybe.
Mm-hmm. Ryan Reynolds asks Isla Fisher, will you marry me? And Isla Fisher says, definitely, maybe. Number 9, 2010. Another tough one, I think, but hopefully the iced tea hint gave it to you. Talking about the day in, day outers, the grinders. Come on, man, you know what I'm talking about.
It's the other guys. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't think we had an answer for this one. I was really trying to hear Ice-T say this in my head, but we don't know.
It was the other guys. Nice job. All right, and number 10, 1999. I think this one might be my favorite one of this list. Electric King, I could have given you the world, to which James Bond responds,
"The world is not enough."
Yeah, fair enough. The world is not enough.
The answer is the world is not enough. Nice job, guys. Well done on that round.
Following the swing round, it looks like the Mild High Comeback did make a comeback because they got 45 points out of that. On the other side, milking 30 points out of the swing round is It's Ragtime. So the point totals are 75 for Mild High Comeback and 70 for It's Ragtime.
All right, here comes question number 1, music question. What month and year, so I need a month and a year, appear in the title of a 1975 hit song for the Four Seasons with the parenthetical title, Oh What a Night?
We can lock it.
Great.
So Oh What a Night, dun, 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 late December in 63, right? December 63? We did, I think. Late December in 63, don't me. It rhymes with it, yeah. Okay, we're going to lock in with December 63.
December 1963.
It is December 1963. Nice job, guys. I'll give you a fun fact about this. According to Bob Gaudio, one of the group members, the song's lyrics was supposed to be set in 1933 with the title December 5th, 1933 to celebrate the repeal of Prohibition.
Oh.
Yep.
I did not know.
Yep, they wanted it. Frankie Valli urged him to change it along with Judy Parker to talk about the time Gaudio and Judy first met. For number 2, the alma mater of basketball players like Kyle Korver and Doug McDermott, Creighton University, is a Jesuit university located in what U.S. state?
Creighton University. Anything on this one? Yeah, I mean, that's fine with me, because I have no idea, and that seems kind of right.
How good are you with this kind of stuff?
The only cue I took was from Jesuit, and I said Utah, and that has nothing behind it.
Yeah, I'm fine going with Utah.
Then for no reason at all, we just said North Carolina.
All right, guys. Creighton University is located in Omaha, Nebraska. Nebraska is the correct answer. Yep.
Omaha Styley for you 311 fans.
Yep. All right. Ready for number 3? Okay. In Greek mythology, the 9th of Hercules' 12 labors was to obtain what item of clothing from Hippolyta, the queen of the Amazons? This article of clothing signified her authority as queen.
God, Ken has been talking about learning these for years.
So me and Jeff did a late night cram session one time on the Herculean labors, I think before Geek Bowl, because it always comes up. Did not come up in Geek Bowl. But now we're going to see what Jeff remembers.
Not enough.
From that cram session.
Yeah, I mean, whichever, maybe the first one?
Yeah, let's go with the first one.
Okay.
Do you think it's like a robe or a tiara of some sort? It's the only thing I got.
I'm trying to remember. There's one with a rope, but I know that's not this. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, maybe it's like a cord, like a belt, a sash of some sort.
Maybe. Yeah, there's a bunch of like killing subquests. That's like 6 of them. And
doesn't he like also clean out the stables or something like that?
Yeah, by redirecting the rivers and flooding it out.
Yeah.
Does a little housework.
Yeah. Yeah, you want to go with a rope?
Yeah, let's do it.
I mean, Wonder Woman was an Amazon, and she had a famous rope lasso, so...
You are telling the truth, Jeff. I'll let Willow take it because we were having a little trouble here. I wrote down Golden Fleece, but I believe that's I can never remember if it's Pericles or
Jason and the
Argonauts.
Argonauts, yeah. And I tousled a couple things around. I know that the Amazons aren't really known for wearing headwear, so I kind of tossed the crown or headdress out of the equation. I thought that maybe it would be like a top piece or like pants or something like that, but I have a feeling it's a bracelet or like a gauntlet or something that you put on your arm.
All right, guys. The answer I was looking for, ninth of Hercules' 12 labors, was to attain the girdle or belt of Hippolyta.
Ooh.
Ready for number 4?
Yes.
What single word appears in the titles of all 3 published books written by Kevin Kwan? One of these books was made into a 2018 movie. So I'm looking for a single word and appears in titles of all 3 published books by Kevin Kwan.
Okay, so it's either one of these 3 words. Oh, I got it now. I just don't know what the books are called. Do you want to go with that? Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, we're locked in.
Okay.
I feel was Ready Player One a trilogy series? I'm trying to think of trilogies that launched in 2018.
Do you want to just guess like a generic word that's in a bunch of novels, like time or something like that?
Sure, I like that. I like the vaguest approach.
Okay, time.
Yeah, this one, I thought about it 2018, and I remembered, I believe the trilogy of books is Crazy Rich Asians. And we were trying to decide which, I don't know the names of the other books. I know they're making a sequel. And Will and I were going back and forth between Rich, which I believe they are in all the books, or Asians. And we thought it's a trilogy by an Asian author about Asian families. So we thought that Asians would be the word that would go across all 3 books.
All right. Well, Kevin Kwan, born in Singapore, wrote the trilogy, starting with Crazy Rich Asians, followed by China Rich Girlfriend and Rich People Problems. The word was rich.
Sorry, man.
So close.
It's all right.
Willow said rich, and I didn't know, so
that was the word that I thought for sure it wasn't. Was rich.
Me too. That's why I just. Oh, sorry, man. You had it.
It's all right.
All right. Number 5. If today is Tuesday, and 7 days from today is also Tuesday, on what day of the week would 100 days from today be?
That's what you got? Mm-hmm. All right, cool. We're locked in.
I think it's Thursday. 98 is divisible by 7. 2 days after 98 would be 100. So 2 days after Tuesday is Thursday.
Perfect. That's what I thought as well.
Through the same math, because there's no other way. We also got Thursday.
That's correct, guys. Well done. Yep.
After 5 questions in round 2, both teams gained 20 more points, bringing it to 95 to 90 with mild high comeback with a slight advantage.
Question number 6 in this round. According to the U.S. Census, which of the 5 New York City boroughs is the most populous?
Yeah, I recently found out that Manhattan is the 3rd most populated island in the U.S. after Puerto Rico and Long Island. And Long Island contains 2 of the boroughs, Queens and the Bronx, I want to say. Mm-hmm. I think it's Queens.
I'm cool with Queens, absolutely.
We're going to lock in with Queens.
Yeah, Will and I were thinking it was either Staten Island or Queens. So if it's not one of them, it's probably the other, because we thought Manhattan is sort of a trick. But we thought because it is sparsely populated, as Jeff said, there might be more area. We actually went with Staten Island.
All right, guys. Well, Manhattan is 3rd with about 1.6 million. The one that's most populous with over 2.6 million, which is more than the 4th most populous city of Houston. It is Brooklyn. Brooklyn has the most. Yep.
All right. No points on that one. Let's move on to question 7.
Number 7. What word that can be found in the scientific name of Lou Gehrig's disease is defined as abnormal stiffening or hardening of body tissue?
We're good.
Okay, good.
So they're locked in. So you wrote down rigor mortis. I believe that's only after you die, though.
It is, but I think it's one of those words because that's like your your body stiffens up. So
because Lou Gehrig's disease, I believe, is ALS. And I'm not sure what the AL or S stand for. Syndrome is probably the S, I'm guessing. But AL is autoimmune something. Maybe it's the L. I don't know. But I have no idea what that stands for. So if you want to go with rigor mortis.
I wasn't thinking the whole word rigor mortis. I was just thinking like one of them.
Oh, like rigor?
Rigor. I think because I think mortis is death. So I think maybe
rigor after death. Yeah, that's fine with me. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and lock in with that.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, so the first thing that came to mind is, I can't remember how to pronounce the first word. I think it's amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. And sclerosis is like arteriosclerosis would be like a hardening of like heart vessels. So I think the word we're looking for is sclerosis. I don't know how you feel about that, Tristen.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Okay, we'll lock that in.
All right. Yep. Jeff was dead on. It's sclerosis. Amyotrophic lateral sclerosis is the correct answer. Nice job. Number 8, an Academy Award nominee for the 1977 movie The Turning Point, who had a recurring role as Alexander Petrovsky, Carrie Bradshaw's love interest in the final season of Sex and the City.
I've seen all of Sex and the City, and I will lock this in.
Do you know this one, Tristen?
I have not seen any of Sex and the City.
And I could be wrong. I mean, maybe it's not Mr. Big, but that's the only character I can think of.
So walking in with Mr. Big.
We're going to say Mr. Big.
All right.
So during his prime in real life, he was known as the Michael Jordan of ballet. And that would be Mikhail Baryshnikov.
Ooh.
That's right. Yep. The Turning Point is a movie about ballet, and the final season saw Mikhail Baryshnikov as Carrie Bradshaw's love interest. Well done.
Very moody boyfriend on his arc. Very moody.
Similar to foundation, but thicker, what cosmetic used to mask dark circles, age spots, and other small blemishes comes in liquid, stick, cream, and pencil varieties?
Willow had his finger on the trigger immediately, so we're going to lock in.
All right, Tristen, what are your thoughts?
My immediate thought is concealer, right?
That was what I was thinking.
Kind of throwing me off, but concealer.
Yeah, the other ones seem to make sense. I thought concealer as well, so I'm good to go with that.
Let's do it.
Fairly certain this is concealer as well from my my days doing drag.
Yep. Well, yeah, the pencil variety isn't very common, but I would accept it either color corrector or concealer. Nice job.
Nice. Did you have a drag name?
Willow was my drag name.
Oh, nice.
I have a different legal name, and so I ended up going by Willow.
Well, cool. Cool name. So I'm
Right
glad
on.
I kept it.
Okay, final question. Pronounced the same. What homophonic pair of words refers to an adjective, meaning very strange or unusual, and a noun, referring to a type of marketplace, often associated with the Middle East?
All right, so we didn't really discuss, but correct me if I'm wrong, Tristen. This also shares its name in part with a 1995 song by OMC. How bizarre.
Well, I was not familiar with the song, but bizarre is what I had as well.
Perfect. We're going to go with bizarre.
We had the same thing.
Yep. How bizarre. Well done. It's spelled Bizarre, or the marketplace Bazaar. Nice job.
Mm-hmm.
Strong finish from both of you guys. Well done.
Yeah, strong finish, man. Great job.
All right, well, correct me if I'm wrong, but it looks like Mile High Comeback did make a comeback in this game, ending with 125, and it's Ragtime ending with 120 going into the final round.
Okay, ready for the final round? I'll give you your categories. Number 1 is The Pen is Mightier. Number 2 is An Album Cover. Number 3 is Things You Shouldn't Put in Your Mouth. Number 4 is Catch These Men.
How dare you, Joe,
And
bring this
number
filth
5,
onto our show.
Colors That Are Red.
Looks like our teams had a pretty easy time determining their wagers, as the Mild High Comeback went Oakland 5 all the way down, and it's Ragtime did 10s all the way down. So it'll be an interesting final round here. So without further ado, let's get the questions from Joe.
Okay. Question number 1. The category is The Pen is Mightier. The phrase, the pen is mightier than the sword, is said to be coined by British author Edward Bulwer-Lytton in his play named after what French clergyman and minister to King Louis XIII? This religious official is depicted as a villain in the novel The Three Musketeers. Number 2, an album cover. On the famous album cover for the 1969 Beatles album Abbey Road, which one of the Beatles was walking barefoot? Number 3, things you shouldn't put in your mouth. Found in the seeds and pits of apricots, apples, peaches, and plums, amygdalin is a chemical compound that, when ingested by humans, can release what toxin? Number 4, catch these men. During the weekend of St. Patrick's Day in 1990, 2 men with fake police uniforms stole 13 artworks valued at a combined total of $500 million at the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum in what city? None of these suspects have been caught, and no works have yet to be recovered. And number 5, colors that are red. The CMYK color model used for color printing features 4 ink colors: cyan, yellow, key black, and what shade of red?
While we're answering the questions, just wanted to remind everyone to come join us over at the Crop. We're just about at 500 members. We'd love to see you over there to interact with all the other listeners of the show. And a special shout out today to a listener. It's a personal friend of ours. Adam Abbasi was on the show, but his sister Tess Abbasi. I know you listen at work with a bunch of your coworkers. Just wanted to give you a shout out and a congratulations to your marriage this fall. So congratulations and thank you for listening and spreading the show around work. We appreciate it.
Yeah, and after a brief discussion, I think all the answers are locked in. So.
Sure. Number 1, the pen is mightier. The phrase "the pen is mightier than the sword" is said to be coined by British author Edward Bulwer Lytton, and is play named for what French clergyman and minister to King Louis XIII also appears in The Three Musketeers?
So for our team, Mild High Comeback, I knew the play was Cardinal Richelieu. I could not remember if that was, obviously, I guess it is the name of the villain in Three Musketeers. I just remember Tim Curry as the villain in Three Musketeers, but I knew that was the name of the play, and I was hoping that would be enough to get us the point. So we said Cardinal Richelieu.
You butcher the French.
Apparently, I just need to watch movies because that's where all knowledge comes from. We didn't know. Having wagered 10, we said Robespierre.
It is, in fact, Cardinal Richelieu. Number 2, an album cover. On the famous album cover of the 1969 Beatles album Abbey Road, which one of the Beatles was walking barefoot?
We went ahead and said Paul McCartney.
We both thought, Tristan and I both thought it was John Lennon pretty quickly, so we said John Lennon.
The subject of a conspiracy theory, thinking that he was dead. It was Paul McCartney.
Yep.
Number 3, things you shouldn't put in your mouth. Found in the seeds and pits of apricots, apples, peaches, and plums. Amygdalin is the chemical compound that, when ingested by humans, can release what toxin?
This is one of my favorite facts of all time. This is cyanide, and I'm pretty sure you can also acquire it by boiling the seeds. It's not going to be toxic until you eat like several pounds of them, and at that point you're probably going to die from eating several pounds of seeds.
It'll be great fiber content, but we said cyanide as well.
It is cyanide. Nice job, guys. Number 4, catch these men. During the weekend of St. Patrick's Day in 1990, 2 men with fake police uniforms stole 13 works of art valued at a combined total of $500 million from the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum in what city?
This one, I believe, it jogged my memory from a question I may have written, possibly, and I do remember the scandal, and for some reason Boston came to me, and I'm not 100% sure, but that's what we locked in with, was Boston.
And we didn't really have a good line on this either, but what do we go with, Tristan?
Boston as well.
It is, in fact, Boston. Nice job. All right, number 5. Colors that are red. The CMYK color model used for color printing features 4 ink colors: cyan, yellow, key black, and what shade of red?
I had some deliberation about this in my own head, whether it was maroon or magenta, but I think we ended up just going with magenta.
We also said magenta.
It is, in fact, magenta. Nice job.
Well, that's the conclusion of the game. Looks like It's Ragtime netted 10 extra points in that final round with 130. But sweeping the final round questions is Mild High Comeback. They ended up with 150, and they are today's cream of the crop.
I am the cream.
Great job, man. You really saved us on the last 7-8 questions. You really kind of came alive there in the comeback.
Well done, guys.
Yeah, Neal put you ahead during the swing round, which is all movie-based. So, if he let you down there, that would have been a real disappointment. But congratulations.
I aim to be a disappointment in every other facet of my life, but not today. But great game, man. We appreciate it. Great game to you as well, Tristan.
Yes, thank you so much. And well done to both of you gentlemen as well.
Yeah, sorry we couldn't pull out a win, but, we lost honorably. So
Absolutely. It was still fun. And, close games are... that's a win in its own right, Yeah,
Joe, thank you very much for hosting. This was a great game. It was tough at the beginning. I think our contestants learned a lot, and then second round they actually racked up some points and a lot of fun with the swing round too.
Awesome. Yep. My pleasure, guys. It's super fun to write these questions for you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed them, and hope everyone that was listening enjoyed them.
Yeah, you're welcome back anytime. And of course, our other guests, Tristen and Willow, are welcome back anytime. Thank you so much for joining us as well. And thank you all for being Patreon supporters. It means a lot to us, and it helps us run the show. And that'll conclude today's episode. For Willow, Tristen, Joe, and my co-host Neal, Jeff, I'm Ken, and that was Triviality.
So either girdle or belts. I'm reluctant to give rope as a correct answer.
Because it's wrong.
I don't know. What are your feelings?
It's wrong.
No, that's very wrong. Jeff used a rope once as a belt when he was alive during the Dust Bowl, but
and I expect one day Jeff will use a belt as a rope.
I put food in the dog bowl. I'll see you later.